Hello everyone, welcome to Programming Knowledge Hub. My name is Vishal. This is the first lecture of the video tutorial series Difference Between. In this lecture, we are going to learn what are the main differences between the abstract class and the interface in C# with the help of an example. Before we go further, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I have also given the links in the description of this video. Also, check out my blog. It is the text version of the videos with more details on each topic. The first difference between the abstract class and the interface is that the abstract class is declared with abstract modifier and an interface is declared with interface modifier. The abstract and the interface are the two keywords in C# which are used to declare the abstract class and the interface. Let's switch to Visual Studio. For these tutorials, I am using Visual Studio 2022 Community Edition, which is free to use for individual purpose. You can download it from Microsoft official website and install it in your system. I have also created a simple console application. So let's create a new .cs file and create abstract class in that. So right click on the project, add new class, give it a name called employee, click enter. Here let's change this internet to public and let's declare this class as an abstract class. So we have declared an abstract class called employee. Similarly, let's create an interface. So right click on the project, add new item and select the interface from here, and let's change the name of the interface called employee. Click enter. Let's remove this internal access modifier for simplicity. So we have created one interface called iEmployee and one abstract class called employee. Let's see the second difference. The second difference is that the abstract class contains the abstracts as well as non-abstract methods, but in interface it contains only the abstract methods. Let's switch to Visual Studio again. So here I will create one abstract method in the abstract class and one non-abstract method. For let's declare the method public abstract void show. So like the abstract class, if you want to declare the method abstract, you need to add this abstract modifier to the method. Let's create a non-abstract method public void. Here we will not apply abstract modifier. Let's call it as a display and let's define its body. We will write one console.writeLine statement calling display from abstract class employee. Let's declare one method in an interface void called as show. All of the methods in the interface are by default abstract. You do not need to put an abstract modifier before the return type of the method because all of the methods are abstract by default. But if you try to define the body of an method in an interface, let's say void display and console.writeLine, so it will not support because all of the methods in the interface are by default abstract. That means it does not support the method implementation in an interface. The third difference is that you can declare and define the methods in abstract class, but in interface you can only declare the methods but you cannot provide its implementation. That means in an abstract class you can have the body of a method, but in an interface you cannot have body to the method. As we have seen here that we can have the body to this display method with console.writeLine statement in an abstract class. It is not giving us any error, but if you try to do the same in the interface, but the compiler gave us an error. The fourth difference between the abstract class and the interface is that the abstract class can have a constructor, but the interface cannot have constructor. Let's check that. Let's create a constructor in the abstract class public employee. So we can create the constructor in the abstract class. The compiler is not giving any error. But if you try to do the same in the interface, let's try to create a constructor. So we create a constructor, but the compiler gave us an error saying that the interfaces cannot contain instance constructor. That means we cannot declare a constructor in an interface. Another difference between the abstract class and the interface is that the multiple inheritance cannot be achieved by abstract class, but with interface we can achieve the multiple inheritance. That means in other languages, when a derived class implements two or more classes, then it is called as multiple inheritance, but the same thing is not possible in C#. So using the abstract class we cannot achieve that multiple inheritance, but using the interfaces we can achieve that multiple inheritance. We will see that in a moment. The last important difference between the abstract class and the interface is that the derived class, which has implemented the abstract class, it has to override the abstract methods of the abstract base class, but it does not necessarily has to override the non-abstract methods. And in case of interface, a class which is implementing that particular interface has to provide implementation for all of the methods of that interface, as all of the methods in the interface are abstract. To understand the last two differences, let's complete the rest of the program with the help of an problem statement. Let's assume that there is a company called XYZ which has two different types of employees. One is permanent employee and another is a contract employee. Now you have to write these two classes and write one show method which will print some statement on the console, and you have to follow the abstract class pattern. Now please understand that this is a very simple example, but in the real world scenario you will have to write more complex code. So let's complete the rest of the program. Here we already have a class called employee, which is an abstract class. Let's write the two other classes called permanent employee and contract employee. And let inherit the employee class. Similarly, let's write another class called contract employee. Now as these two classes are implementing the employee class, these two classes have to provide the implementation for the abstract method called as show. So let's provide the implementation, and let's write one console.writeLine statement. This is permanent employee, and similarly let's write the same in the contract class. This is contract employee. Now in the main method, let's create the instances of these two classes, that is permanent employee and contract employee, and let's call their respective show methods. Let's save the program and run the program using start without debugging. Perfect, we got the same output as we expected. Now in case of interface, a class has to provide implementation for all of the methods declared in that interface. Also, a class can implement more than one interface at a time. Here I have created two different interfaces. One is I permanent employee and another is I contract employee with the method show and display. A class called employee interface is implementing both of the interfaces and providing implementation for those methods. Let's go to the main method again. Let's comment the existing code and let's create the object of employee interface and call the methods show and display. Let's save this program and start the program without debugging. Perfect, we got the same output as expected. Thank you for watching the video. Do hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to get a notification whenever new video is uploaded. Also check out my Facebook page and my Instagram account for more content.